Hello guys, this is unexpected. We're not playing a video game today. Oh shit, the camera's cutting out. What's happening with the? Why am I? Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. I got the camera back on, working great. So with our faces, I am the neighborhoodable, and he is.
I am your father. No,
Yeah.
that's true. It's like, oh whatever. No, I'm Mr. Knowing Nothing.
Back again from the dead. We have not seen him in a while.
In a while, you saw me yesterday. You're seeing me
And
right now.
The channel has not seen you in a while
How do you know?
because I'm the editor as well. And
Oh.
the last video you were out was like 2 months ago.
Oh, makes
Hey.
sense. Whatever. Let's just cut to the chase.
So what happened? The U.S. Civil War will come out tomorrow, May 6th, but in Mexico it came out April 28th. That's how cool Mexico is, and Marvel loves us.
Yeah, of course.
And what happened is that could you explain what happened? What we did?
We went to see the movie Nighttime. The
Oh.
night it was released.
Opening night.
Yeah.
Funny thing is we didn't actually go to the same theaters.
Oh no. I went with someone else.
I went with Tez and other friends to one movie theater.
And
Wow.
I didn't go with Tess and friends to the same movie theater.
Yeah, he went with someone else. Someone invited him because, well, it was another dude.
Yeah.
He won.
Dude.
He
Let's
won.
just call them dude one, dude two.
Let's call him Fat Dude.
That's
He is fat.
offensive, but
But he's
whatever.
fat. He's fat, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you told him yesterday.
I told him to his face that he was a fat.
Yeah. We're playing Slither. It's long story.
Long story short.
We'll tell you later.
Yeah, we will play Slither. So what do we think of Civil War?
Oh yeah.
So before we start, let's make a super quick summary of the film.
Oh sure.
You care to explain the movie?
Oh yeah, you've got Captain America, Iron Man, and they kind of laugh and they kill each other. And no,
You
they
can
don't.
explain
They don't. No,
Explain
they
better.
Don't. Okay, so due to the collateral damage that the Avengers caused after the Avengers 2, the movie, Age of Ultron, the United Nations decided to create a treaty of sorts where the Avengers would be under government.
Government. What we call it?
Control.
Well, yeah, government management. They should be managed by the government.
Yeah.
They'll be observed by the government.
And so the team gets
Split?
different opinions.
Split, you could say.
Yeah, and they split up. And that's it.
That's pretty much the main thing.
Yeah, that's the main
That's
plot.
the focal
Yeah.
point of the conflict. So you have tons of present. We're gonna talk about first of all characters because that's the best thing I think the movie
Oh
had.
yeah, the wide array of.
Though, I was finding a word for that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good word. The wide array of characters. There's so many Marvel MCU characters, and also new to the MCU without
Oh,
a
yeah.
backstory. Had this won't be much of a spoiler because we saw the trailers. So one of the big reveals was Black Panther. From I forgot what city it was, but it was one of the cities that they visited in previous Avengers movies. You do remember Black Panther, right? The only
Yeah,
black-
yeah, I do, of course.
Then we have the new Spider-Man, which I won't give
Oh,
away too
yeah.
much yet
Yet.
because we're in the spoiler-free section of the review.
Yay.
And so Spider-Man was. I'm just gonna say he was really great. We'll talk about more in detail about him in the spoiler area of the review opinion thingy. Captain, he was just spot on good. Again, Chris Evans is always really good. Iron Man is good. Black Widow's great. Scarlet Witch, I forgot her actress name, but she did well. Vision has a better sense of humor in this one, I could feel.
Well, yeah, he's been spent more time with the Avengers, so kind of catch on.
With how humans work.
Yeah, how they work.
So Vision has a better sense of humor in general. What else happened in this movie? It was a roller coaster of things. There was a lot of characters, but here's the thing. While many movies consider having too many characters a bad thing, this one did it right. It did. We have bad movies that don't. I'm just gonna move a little because of the camera.
Yeah, sure.
So I have bad movies, and I have good movies that have managed too many characters. We see in Spider-Man 3 that had too many characters that nobody would understand because we have 3 villains, one and a half villain, one. That's weird.
That's just a weird mess.
As well as Batman v Superman, which came out in April, the same month. No, it came out in March, right?
Yeah.
March. It came out in March, and that had mixed reviews as well because of how many characters there are in a little film. But this one was great because it had time to develop each one, and they had it for a little amount of time, and they were not the focal point. That's the cool part. Other movies try to mash them all together in the same film, but this one took its time. It took its time. Care to talk about, like, what do you notice that, and presentation-wise, without characters, just presentation-wise?
Yeah, presentation, okay. Well, there was one thing that bugged me. And, I mean, it's just a nitpick, I know, but when presenting the different cities they were traveling to, there was, like, just a huge splash text with the name. And, I don't know, it felt kind of unprofessional to me. I think it was better off the other way, with just like detailed writing below that says, oh, 1700 hours and whatever city they are in. Instead of just, oh, Sokovia. I don't know.
You know what? I'm just going to say, I also noticed that they have other movies, past superhero and past movies in general. When they tell the location, they have it in the corner. Like, I'm going to put according to the screen. Like, over here. Right here where my hand is, pretty much. Oh, there, right here. This is where they put this location and this place and blah, 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 right? That's where they do it usually.
Yeah, I'm okay by that.
It's like right here. This is where we're gonna put the city. Then lower, we're gonna put the time. Then lower the country and blah blah blah, and dates and all this stuff. I don't like when they get too specific.
Oh.
But I just like as long as they put the city. Then again, I think you could say it's okay if they put this huge splash text in it because it's comic book style. It does have like a comic book charm to it. Not necessarily, but it has its unique thing about it. It reminds me of a comic book. Like I'm straight reading it up. But I understand it looks kind of weird because you see Avengers and they have just underneath right there New York. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like.
But in this one, it's like Sokovia.
Yeah, like bam. There.
Sokovia.
And it just kind of bugged me.
New York.
But I get what you're saying.
Russia. Oh yeah, Russia's a really big focal point in the story. We'll talk about that in the spoiler section.
We'll tell about the story later.
Presentation thing that I noticed. We have a lot of good visuals. A lot of good metaphor visuals, symbolisms that aren't too punch in the face like DC sometimes does it.
Like
the Superman movies do that symbolism in a lot of things. You know, like Superman doing this.
Yeah.
Like Jesus symbolism.
Of course.
But no, this one had a fair amount of symbolism and visuals. I'm going to talk about a few later. I'm just going to say one, which is not much of a spoiler, but it's just one, like at the beginning of the movie, where Iron Man, a victim, I'm not gonna be specific. A victim comes up to Tony Stark, talks about something, and the victim Tony Stark suddenly sees a bunch of things in his eyes, like kind of like Iron Man 3, where he was seeing where he was hallucinating weird stuff because after New York and the Avengers, kind of like that. Like he sees a bunch of weird stuff and he's afraid. Iron Man went really deep in this movie. He was He was sad Iron Man. He wasn't the happy Iron Man you always see.
Yeah, you know, just like, confident and all.
No, he was a sad one in this one. He was really depressing in this film. Like, wow. I never imagined seeing...
Well, yeah, but, you know, he always likes... Like, deep inside, he cares for his friends and all that. So, when they get split up, it is, like, hurts him.
He's also really egotist. You can actually see, like, his ego in this film.
Oh, yeah, but that is in Iron Man.
Yeah, but he has bigger one in this one, I feel. And it was a good thing. We were waiting for it forever. The hype was real. It paid off correctly, I would say. And this is something that I've noticed for some people. that they don't like it because it's not Iron Man versus Captain America. It's another plot line. And like, why were you think it was gonna be Iron Man versus Captain America? Was it because of the Twitter hashtags? Was it because of what do you choose? Hashtag Team Cap, hashtag Team Iron Man? No. Like, maybe I would understand people thinking it's a fight movie.
Oh yeah.
Because we had the DC Batman v Superman.
And it's stated like Batman versus Superman.
Well, again, that's another thing that I hate because that is not what it is.
Oh no, it's not.
It's not Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
It's the actual movie should be called Dawn of Justice.
Oh yeah.
Just like this
title,
movie. Yeah. This movie had a good title. It was called Captain America Civil War because that's what
Yeah,
it is.
that's
It's
what
Captain
it
America
is.
Civil War. They're not lying to you that it's Iron Man versus Captain America. That is not the main thing. That is just something that happens to be while in the plot.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, some people saw the trailers and thought it's gonna be a versus film.
Like the focal point was gonna be them fighting.
That's what some people thought.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of negative reviews, a lot of negative opinions about it from people who thought that. There's actually a friend of ours in school who's the only person in our class who hates the movie.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
And when I asked him why, he said because they're not fighting. And like, well, why do you thought they're gonna fight? You can see the trailers. I saw the trailers. I saw a lot of them fighting, and I want to see them fight more. And like, that's not the point of the movie. If the point of the movie was them fighting, it would be called Cap versus Iron Man or something like that, right?
Yeah.
America versus
Superman.
the Iron.
No. That doesn't work out. Or no.
Missing superheroes. There are not missing superheroes. That's cool. There's only 2 missing heroes from individual movies, which is the Hulk and Thor. And it's pretty obvious why. We saw in Avengers: Age of Ultron why they're missing. Thor is in Asgard, and Hulk
Kind of just disappeared.
Well, we could say how, because by this point you should have all seen Age of Ultron.
Yeah. Just like go on.
So I'm not gonna. So this is not a spoiler of Age of Ultron. This is a spoiler of Age of Ultron, not of the Civil War movie. When we see Hulk go into the water in Age of Ultron in the last Avengers, that's where he is still, I guess. He disappeared in the ocean. So he's not in this movie. But in this movie have, as you saw in the trailers, all those guys. I'm gonna name drop because you know from the trailers who was there. Yeah. You saw in the trailer Arrow, obviously that's Hawkeye. You saw Ant-Man in the Arrow, so that's Ant-Man. We saw in the trailer Spider-Man at the end, so
world famous Spider-Man finally entering the MCU.
Yes, that was amazing. He was there. Iron Man was there. Scarlet Witch was there. Vision was there. Cap was there.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch.
The Winter Soldier was there.
Oh yeah, Bucky or the Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier's the hero name, and Bucky's like his alias, right? His ego, his second man. Black Panther was there, as we saw it in the trailer as well, so that's not much of a spoiler reveal. There are many characters we could say were there, but I just don't remember the names. Another thing I want to point out is the treaty. Did they mention the name of the treaty?
Well, it was... No, at least I can't remember off the back of my head.
Yeah, like you keep talking about what you thought of, keep thinking of your opinions. So like what?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look this up.
The movie was good. The pacing was pretty decent. You know, it didn't start out with a fully fleshed out fight like the Avengers 2: Age of Ultron, but it started with it set up the tone very quickly. The tone of, hey, that they're gonna split up or they're having conflicts with each other. Tony Stark and Captain America being the leaders, of course, of the two bands, and again the Captain America caring for his past friend is again developed in this movie, and overall I think it was pretty good. So what are your thoughts? Just quick thoughts. or something in specific you want to say about it?
Yeah, we're not in the spoiler area to
Yeah,
say
not yet.
specific.
Just like general, like pacing or something.
The pacing is really good. It's high action. There's moments of drama, there's moment of tension, there's
Yeah.
moment of comedy. It knows when to do when. It has a dramatic scene, then another dramatic scene, then another dramatic scene, then another. And it knows when to just say, you know what? No more dramatic scenes. Let's do something funny now. Let's do something from the team. Like, oh, this happened. Ha ha ha. A gag, right?
Yeah.
It knows when to
Yeah.
say, it's good now, it's bad now. It knows, it has good pacing in terms of drama, action, comedy. Drama, action, comedy. It took itself seriously, but at the same time, not so much. Which is good in a comic book movie because
Oh yeah.
if you're too dark and gritty and take yourself way too serious
Yeah.
without jokes, you turn to Man of Steel. But if you're too funny, dummy, and really, what's it called? Campy, you turn to Batman and Robin.
Oh. Let's not go that far. And also the contents of the movie were like distributed properly.
The story wise is distributed. You have enough screen time for everyone. Yeah, of course you're gonna have more for Captain America and Bucky because that's the point of the movie. That's the title character.
Yeah, it is after all a Captain America movie, not an Avengers.
Yes, it is not an Avenger movie. It is not a Civil War movie. It's Captain America Civil War. If the movie just called Civil War, maybe it'll be distributed equally. Let's call Captain America, so we have more
Yeah,
screen time
so-
with him. But that's okay. We do got enough with the other characters. We have enough with the villain. By the way, great villain.
Yeah.
I would act. That was one of the second times I think I actually never saw it coming. You see what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Because there's some movies where they present the villain at one point,
Yeah, like, oh,
and
he's
it's,
the bad guy.
and it's obvious that he's the bad guy.
Yeah, Lex Luthor.
There is
whatever.
gonna be a twist, but why expect the twist when you know he's the bad guy already?
Yes. When it's like, just, oh, here. It's pretty easy to know the bad guy. But in this case, it's kind of shocking. Well, not shocking, but it's just like, oh, wow, didn't know him.
Okay. So I just found the name of the treaty. They do mention it. I just forgot about it. It's called the Sokovia Accords.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because of the biggest
Yeah,
destruction. Because
yeah.
the biggest destruction, the last one from Avengers 2 was Sokovia.
Of course, with Ultron.
With Ultron doing the meteorite plan, whatever, some stupid things. Yeah, I have the names here. So we can name drop them later in the spoiler area. Shoot. What else was good that I personally liked? I liked the development was great.
Oh, yeah.
Again, visuals and effects were amazing.
The acting was good.
Really good acting on part of everyone. They all knew when to give their
Yeah.
one-liners. They all knew when to be cheeky and tongue-in-cheek. They all knew when to be serious and dramatic. What else? We're gonna get in detail. I'll say the second thing I like in the spoiler section because there's one thing that I really do like,
Oh yeah.
and that's pretty much.
Yeah, so some
wait, let's
negatives.
go. No, the only negative thing I would. Well, there's negative things, right? There are a few characters that could have squeezed in, I believe.
Squeezed in. Like,
For example, I would love to see for the first time here presenting Wasp, because you
Wasp, yeah.
saw the ending of Ant-Man, right? You saw
Yeah,
the end
of
trailer.
course.
You saw when what's his name? Hank Pym gives to the girl, like saying, "You know, I still have an outfit from your mom," and like they open and they see the tube where the wasp suit is, and you're like,
Yes.
"Oh my god, Ant-Man 2's gonna have a wasp."
Yeah, and then two.
And in this movie, you don't see her. You see Ant-Man, who, if you noticed by the toys, has another power.
Oh yeah.
The toys say it, so I'm not. It's not much, but just in case you didn't ever notice, I will say in the spoiler again. She wasn't there. I wish I could have seen her there. That would have been really awesome to present Wasp. We have Ant-Man. You know who he is.
Yeah.
And Wasp shouldn't be a hard thing to explain, right? You could just say, well, you know, my girl, we had technology. We're like, cool, let's use her as well. The way they brought Anna was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, how are they gonna? Because I'm seeing the setup, the big fight setup, and they mentioned like who else should we get? And I know who to get, and just the way they brought him in, so funny.
Yeah.
I was expecting a little more dramatic, like I don't know, maybe I was expecting them to walk up to him and be like,
Yeah,
"Yo,
something like that.
Scott, we need you," but no, they just. It's just so funny how they involve him.
Yeah, and it stays within character, so
Actually-
that's pretty smart.
They actually reversed the way I thought I was going to introduce each one. I thought Spider-Man's introduction was going to be super funny, which it was, but
Yeah,
but it was more again
yeah. Talk, like
talk
face to face.
face to face, realistic. While Ant-Man's introduction was the funny, haha, wow, how did this happen? I thought it was gonna be
Yeah.
backwards. I thought it was gonna be Ant was gonna be like the serious one introduced to the movie. You know, with the daughter issue and him being like in the crime section. And I thought Spider-Man's
Yeah.
introduction was gonna be more ha ha ha, like how did he get here? It wasn't that. I liked the villain scheme. You don't see it often. The conflict there's more than one conflict, by the way, to drive the narrative. It's really good. With that said, it's time to go into the spoiler area.
Of course. Yeah. Okay. I've been.
So I'm
waiting
gonna put
for
a
this.
spoiler alert right. Let's just put it where here.
Wherever we
here.
go.
Let's put it here. There you go. Spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler alerts in.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're gonna discuss like story segments.
Yeah. All right. So the movie begins. We're in some place in Africa. We see the destruction. There's a dude.
Yeah.
They're tracking down. Let me just find the name. All right. So they're tracking down a dude whose name is Romlo. Yeah, Brock Romlo. He's a character from the comics who's really badass, but in this movie we only see him once and he dies immediately. Not a good join for the comic book Romlo. But it was a good introduction, right? So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
see
it was-
Romlo
yeah.
in the city destroying the destruction. And the thing that drives the plot for them to actually start saying, you know what? Now's the time to do the Sokovia Accords is when Scarlet Witch Wanda decides to lift Romlo with the bomb. Like Romlo's about to kill himself with Captain America.
Yeah.
Right? Wanda stops it by like putting him in a like a weird orb thingy. Lifts it up in the air, hoping to send it to the sky, but it's too early. I mean, too late. And when she sends it to the sky, it explodes in a hospital.
Yeah, and the building just collapses and all that.
And people are dying, and you see people screaming, and people are thankful that he stopped the terrorist, but they still killed people. Innocent people. You can see them suffering, right? And it's funny because this is something very important. We see the perspective of the citizens and of the heroes. Usually we see only the perspective of the heroes destroying the city and citizens being like, thank you, save
Yeah,
us."
everyone's just like, yay, shouting more.
And there's other movies where they portray the heroes negative completely. Where you just see the citizens' point of view like, oh, heroes are suck, we gotta kill them and blah blah blah. But here at both point of views, we see the hero knowing that he's trying to help, but knowing that he might kill innocent, killing civilians. We see the civilians thanking them, but also being aware that they're dying and being sad. And we also see that for the civilians, they think that the heroes don't know this, and the heroes are like, whatever. But when we see the heroes, they're actually crying and suffering that they've done something. So they show you in a not. They show you. They don't talk about it. They show you this is something I also like. It's a show and tell.
Yeah. They
It's-
don't just say.
It's doing the show don't tell thing that I like in movies. Because some movies like to do exposition. Like Superman Returns. That I hate it because there's so much exposition to things that they can easily show you. They don't have to say, oh, this happened because this is. No, they just show Captain America like having tears. They show Wanda looking at the news and her face is just like, why? What am I doing? Am I this monster? It's show and tell. So after that, we cut to Iron Man. Well, let's actually go back to the beginning of the movie. Of the spoiler review.
Okay.
We start off in the 90s in Russia.
Oh yeah.
And we see Bucky's being unfrozen by Hydra. And they read this protocol, which, if I remember, it was report mission December 16, 1996. I think it was.
Oh, I can't remember.
Somewhere that, right? And we see that the mission is to kill someone who has the super mutant DNA thing, right? The ones the super soldier serum. That's what it was called. Which they used to put on Bucky and on Captain America. And Bucky's being brainwashed, and we see how they brainwash him, the Russians and Hydra. Well, Hydra is German, but this time, it's been taken over by Russians.
They're a nasty bunch.
And then we go to the Africa thing we showed you. And then we go with Iron Man being in MIT, giving a talk with some students about the future and holograms and blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he goes and gives scholarships to everyone, blah, blah. He explains the future. Then he sees a teacher, who gives this really interesting point of view from a civilian. Saying, in Sokovia, had a son who was a physicist and was just in school. He was doing great in everything, right? He was an engineer, he was a physicist, he was doing so much good. He looked up to Iron Man, blah, blah, blah. He looked up to you. And he went to Sokovia, and he had options. They offered him a job in New York. They offered him a job in London. They offered him jobs everywhere in the world, but he said, no, I'm going to go help the small town of Sokovia. And then because the Avengers came, he was sending pictures, and then suddenly they died. He died. He was killed in the incident.
Tragic loss.
So we see point of view of the civilian, which is great.
Yeah, it's like it lets you get more immersed in the world.
And we see Iron Man's face. He's seeing images. He's being He's having repressions.
Yeah.
He's having regrets of what he did. This is really great. Then we cut to some filler, but it's still interesting filler, right? We see the new Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
We have Vision wearing clothes. This is really weird and really funny. I never thought I'd see Vision wearing like normal clothes.
Yeah, because he has this.
And it's funny because it's just not normal clothes like, chilling clothes like what he's wearing. Like what I'm wearing. He's wearing super formal, like khaki pants with a belt and leather shoes and like the actual dress shirts, a long sleeve dress shirt, not like this thing I'm wearing right now. He's wearing a long sleeve dress shirt. It cracks me up every time I see it. And you see that he's also trying to learn more of our human lingo. Also really funny.
You can see him trying to cook. It was
trying to cook, trying to speak like us in an urban way. It's funny. Then that's when it goes again back to sadness, where we see the heroes at a table. We see one of the UN representatives coming in, showing footage of the first Avengers, of Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Yeah, we see New York, we see Washington, we see Sokovia. And then that's what we saw in the trailers.
Yeah.
But of course the trailers omitted the one we saw in Africa.
Of course.
Because that would be a spoiler. So then they show the one that happened in Africa. And that's when they say, the UN and 160 countries have decided we are going to sign this petition, the Sokovia Accords, saying that heroes shall no longer pass the international borders freely. They shall have permits and visas and everything to cross.
They're going to be
under supervision by the UN.
Yeah.
They are to follow strict guideline of rules of when to go and battle.
When to act and when just
to sit down. And yeah. But then they get a report that Bucky's still alive, because when they go to the UN
to sign it,
not everyone goes. The one who goes is Black Widow. She's famous. And we see one of the representatives of the African country, Sudan, I think the country was, and his son, right?
Yeah.
T'Challa is a son named T'Challa, yeah. And the dad, after that, suddenly, boom, an explosion happens out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We see them fight a while, and turns out when they take the pictures and they see national news, they see a dude who looks like Bucky with a sniper rifle aiming at the thing. Like, what the heck is this? Did Bucky did it? So the Cap goes searching for Bucky, finds Bucky. Turns out Bucky says he wasn't. And the government, the Avengers, and everyone capture Bucky and Captain America and Falcon. They capture them. Bucky's held in a restricted asylum with a doctor.
Yeah.
While Cap and Iron Man are still discussing the accords. They discuss that Captain America is actually about to sign it. When he sees the video and they see that suddenly Bucky is being read something forbidden. And it turns out what happened is that the doctor was actually the main villain of the movie. Which they were driving up to him, like explain him, and you're like, when does he play a role in this? And then you see that he's acting like a doctor, and the doctor is reading him the information, and there's another dude hacking the power plant from the facility. They brainwash Buck again. Bucky goes on a rampage until he stops. And then we're presented to the new hero, Black Panther, which is T'Challa, the son of the killed king of the African country.
Yeah. Who died on the explosion.
Yeah, it was Siberia. That's the place, Siberia.
Yeah.
Who died in the explosion. He wants vengeance for his dad. He wants to kill Bucky because supposedly Bucky killed him. We see that Bucky wasn't the one who killed him. We'll explain that later. So the movie goes on and on. They travel escaping the government. And it turns out that they're going to have maybe a little war. They know this. So I get prepared. So what they get prepared is that turns out T'Challa comes in. So preparation is Captain America along with Falcon and Bucky. Like, what do we do? Who do we assemble? Who do we get?
Yeah. They're going to hide.
First of all, Hawkeye, who said he was going to retire, wants to help Captain America. So he goes to the Avengers area, frees Wanda because Iron Man wants to have Wanda secluded until everyone thinks she's safe again. Wanda defeats Vision in a really super heavy way.
After that, with Hawkeye.
So we have flees with Hawkeye. So we now have Hawkeye, Wanda, Falcon, Captain America, and the Winter Soldier all together in one team. When someone's missing, who else do we get? Who we can recruit? Falcon, funnily enough, says, "I think I know a person." And who's the person who Falcon should know who's a superhero? Well, do you remember Ant-Man? Well, when he fought Falcon?
Yeah.
There you go. That's how they bring Ant-Man. And this is what I was saying before. It's so funny when they drag him in because we just see a van, and we open the van, and Ant-Man is just laying down. Where am I?
Where am I?
What happened? What time zone is this? And he learns that I think they're Germany. Yeah, they're Germany.
Yeah. Oh, so, and then they decide what to do. And they discover that Iron Man and the others were sent to capture Bucky and Captain America and all of them. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna fight. So they head to the airport because they're gonna fly somewhere, and that's where Iron Man finds them all.
No, before this, Iron Man also handled this crew, right?
Oh yeah.
So of course I had Iron Man, which is the obvious one. We have Vision because Vision was betrayed. We have
Black Widow.
Rhodes because that's War Machine, of course, James Rhodes. And then the best addition, Spider-Man.
Exactly.
How did he get there? Let's explain this. When they're looking for a recruit, someone new, someone fresh who they don't know. Turns out Iron Man had looked up YouTube footage and everything about a superhero finding in New York. When he goes there, we see that we see a guy walking with a backpack in a rocking a college thing, high school thing actually. And we walk in and we just hear a dude saying, "Hey, Aunt May."
We know who it is.
This is Spider-Man. And then suddenly May's like, "Hey, Peter," and they start laughing. And then you see the face. He looks awesome. The dude, he's like, he looks great as that. Like, no homo.
No hashtag no homo.
He looks good as Spider-Man. I do see his face.
Oh yeah.
And they see probably a good scene. First of all, Aunt May looks younger. She looks super young and super hot, by the way.
No shame.
No shame. The movie's not ashamed of that because Tony Stark is there.
Oh yeah.
He's talking with her. Like, yeah, I gave your son a scholarship and I want to talk with him personally. So they go into the room and Tony Stark says, like, first of all, your aunt's really hot.
Yeah.
Is she single, by the way? Like, give me your number or something, right? That's funny.
Yeah,
Because,
typical Tony Stark.
and she is hot. I'm just going straight to the point. She is hot. Yeah, so they talk about, like, are you I know you're Spider-Man. Like, what? No, I'm
Yeah.
not Spider-Man. Let's just reenact this quickly. Like, you be Peter Parker, like, Tony Stark. Look,
Yeah.
Peter, I know you're Spider-Man.
What? Who?
Spider-Man, you know, the guy who's seen the videos on YouTube. I've seen your videos.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Whoa, what's this thing on the roof? Like this, what am I pulling?
Oh, no. So basically, what happens? Like Spider-Man's clothes fall off.
Yeah, and
As soon-
first of all, Spider-Man, like we see videos of Spider-Man on YouTube. We see that he has a really stupid costume because he still doesn't know how to make his own
Yeah,
costume,
it's just like,
which makes sense.
oh, it makes sense.
He made his own web shooters. He says like, what? Anyone can make that video because, you know, Photoshop
yeah.
and special effects like Adobe Effects. It's pretty obvious now we can make. It's funny, but he's revealed to be Spider-Man, and Tony Stark offers, you know what? You want to go to Germany? Do you want to go to Germany?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's how he gets Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks really cool. He has a super cool attitude. He looks like a
Yeah.
Spider-Man. He
He
talks
acts
like a Spider-Man. He
and
acts
it's
like it.
just like,
This is Spider-Man.
yeah, it's like the perfect fit.
It's the perfect combination of awkwardness in a teen when it comes to your secret identity, and super chill and one-liner spouting man when he's in the costume. We're gonna talk. This is why I like him better because before this Spider-Man, I loved Tommy. I personally like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man better than Andrew Garfield's.
Yeah.
Because in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, he captured the awkward Peter Parker and the sometimes cool Spider-Man, but he was still goofy and comic
Yeah.
book-like, right? I liked him as a Peter Parker and sometimes Spider-Man. Meanwhile, Andrew Garfield from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I liked him more as Spider-Man, but sometimes as Peter Parker. Peter Parker's supposed to be awkward, shy.
Yeah. And Garfield wasn't.
Garfield
too shy.
wasn't sure. He was cocky as hell.
Yeah.
How was he supposed to be a nerd bullied in school? When you saw Tobey Maguire being bullied in Spider-Man, the first one, it made sense. He looked like a dork.
Yeah.
He was fat. He was scrawny. He was not
Yeah,
fat. He was
he
scrawny.
used glasses. and
He
all
was
that.
weak. He was super shy. He had a puppy face. So it made sense to see him being bullied and still being bullied as his alter ego. Well, Spider-Man is super cool. But in Andrew Garfield, it makes no sense. Because, like, why is he being bullied? He looks handsome. He skateboards. He's like the definition of a cool hipster. Which is not Spider-Man. That's not Peter Parker. But when he is Spider-Man, he does work as Spider-Man because he does have his cocky one-liners. A little too much, by the way, which that's why I don't like him as much. I like him better. He's a better Spider-Man than Maguire sometimes. Just like Tobey Maguire's a better Peter Parker than him. But this new one, he is both. When you see him as the person without the costume, he's shy. He stutters. He has a.
Yeah,
He's a little wimpy. But
shy.
But when he puts on the mask, he spouts one-liners. He's really funny.
Yeah,
It's cool. Cracks jokes all the time. I think the best part was when he's when he takes a shield, like we saw in the trailer, and then he says like, and the first thing like when he lands, Iron Man says, "Good work, Spidey," and Spider-Man's like, "Oh, you think? Thanks. I could have did the landing better. I think the landing was a little shy. I could have done it better. My feet was a little wobbly. I'm not feeling it today.
Yeah.
You know, the airport traveling is kind of weird." And then Tony's like, okay, shut up, kid.
Yeah, okay, shut up. Let's.
And so like, oh, sorry. Sorry, Captain. Sorry about the shield. Huge fan. He like does this.
Yeah.
And it's just hilarious.
Yeah, it is pretty fun.
After the fight scene is epic. You see destruction.
Yeah. The airport fight was.
This is what I was saying. So the toys of Ant-Man, they don't say Ant-Man, they say Giant Man. People are wondering why is this? Did he finally learn how to make himself big like in the cartoons, like in the comics? So Ant-Man, as we know from the movie, he could shrink. And they gave him discs that he could shrink or grow. So it looks like he found a way to learn how to make the...
Yeah, like reverse it.
To reverse it. Because if he could grow things with this growing disc, then he could apply that technology to himself. So he does. And now, Ant-Man can grow into Giant Man. And he destroys everything in his path like...
Yeah.
I'm a giant. Destroy. It's so cool. Giant Man. It's funny and it's great. It's a good setup. That's a climax. We then see Captain America and Bucky escape. Iron Man tries to stop him, but they don't. So they take everyone else.
Yeah, everyone else just gets thrown into the
into a prison in the middle of the ocean. We see Falcon is in a prison. Hawkeye's in a prison. Wanda's in a prison.
And Ant-Man.
And Scott's in a prison.
Yeah.
And it's funny how you can see each one. You can see each one represented correctly because Falcon, you see him, he's standing up, waiting, and just like he knows Tony Stark's gonna be there. And then you see Scott just sleeping with a magazine.
Yeah, just like
because he doesn't really care.
Yeah, he's just like chill.
Wanda's like sitting, about to cry.
Yeah,
sad.
she's pretty sad.
And Hawkeye is just cool. He's sitting down, but he doesn't care at the same time.
Yeah.
He's like, so, why are you like here, you fucking douche? Anyway, we go to Russia, and we go to Russia. We see where the base was, because it turns out the main villain, the actual real person who Iron Man doesn't. Also, Iron Man, while he's like investigating,
he finds out.
He finds out that Bucky isn't the villain, so the war was unnecessary. Well, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
It wasn't actually because the Accords.
Yeah, the Accords.
But the exaggeration about Bucky wasn't.
Like, it didn't need to go that far.
The far part was because of Bucky. So he's like, oh, I made a mistake. But he's so egotistical that he doesn't want to admit the mistake, which is funny as hell. He just says like, oh, I just realized something myself. No one told me this. But it did. He's just such an egomaniac that he was want to tell anyone that I had to ask someone for help. So he goes to stop the main villain alongside Cap and Bucky. So the three of them are friends for a while.
They team up again
for a while.
Yeah, everything's fine until now.
We see the villain. He says that I have the other prisoners escape. I have the super one, and I'm going to find every single other villain here, right? All the other super soldiers who escaped, who are in the city. But when he's there, he has I don't know. This is a genius mastermind, by the way, because this is what he does. He frames Bucky, so Captain America can be arrested trying to help him, because he knows the friendship. He knows that Iron's gonna come looking for them, so he tries to make a way to get Iron Man, and he sets up a video of what happened, of what Bucky did when it was the order, right? The Operation December 16, 1996. I think that was a year. And when you see it, this is the best part of the movie and of the MCU so far. We finally have a backstory, a good backstory of Iron Man.
Oh, yeah,
of his parents.
Because we know they're dead.
Yeah, we knew they were dead, but why? How?
Yeah,
it was never mentioned.
How did it die?
Like, at least in the MCU. Because Captain America, of course, his parents, we do know that he didn't have a mom. We do know his mom died when he was 17. He mentioned in the first movie. We do know that he moved away from his dad.
Yeah.
His dad was still alive. Of course, he's dead now because, frozen from the 40s. So Cap has no parents. Thor, we know his parents are still alive. because his mom, we don't know about much about. His dad is still alive there. You know, the god, of course. What's his dad's name again? Odin. Yeah, Odin the god. And then we know that Hulk. We know that his parents are dead.
Basically, most.
Well, they're not dead actually.
no.
They're still like
just.
yeah.
No, they're not important.
Yeah, we do know that he had no mom. His dad, she may still be alive. That's it. Bruce Banner.
Yeah. So they show us. What happened.
we know that Black Widow was adopted.
Yeah, he got trained in the weird school
Of ballerina
assassins,
spies.
Yeah, ballerina spies, assassins, all that.
We know Hawkeye was from a circus. We know he was just a regular dude who got brainwashed into killing the Avengers, but then he turned good. We know Vision was created by Infinity Stone. We know Wanda and Quicksilver, which is dead. That's sad.
Yeah, sad.
We know they're sons of Magneto.
Oh yeah, but they cannot reference Magneto in the MCU because of.
Well, now they can. They have permission now.
No, I don't think that because I'm not sure. I think Paramount Pictures owns X-Men.
Paramount doesn't own it. Fox owns it.
Oh, Fox, yeah.
But Fox gave the rights now. Do you not know this?
What?
Fox shared the rights now. They shared the rights to the MCU.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I can find this up right now.
We'll check later.
Well, as far as I heard, Fox gave permissions for X-Men and Deadpool to Disney.
Well, I didn't know.
Like
that.
Sony did it, yeah.
Haven't heard of it, but I'll check it out later.
Yeah, and it's so genius because he has the recording of the incidents of the killing, which is so because Iron Man's there now, and now he wants to make Iron Man mad at Bucky by the best way possible, showing what Bucky did, which was killing Iron Man's parents.
Bucky was the one that killed.
Bucky straight up murdered Iron Man's parents. Shot his dad and his mom in a car while it made him crashed. Just wow. And we also learn, so they fight a while. They get beat up.
Yeah,
Bucky
Iron Man gets really angry.
Bucky pretty much loses his robotic arm because Iron Man popped it up. Captain America is about to die because Iron Man's being super cool about it.
Yeah.
Then it reverses and Iron Man's about to die because Captain America is like pounding the shield like a monkey. You know, like the Planet of the Apes scene where he's like just pounding the shield on top of Iron Man.
Yeah.
And then, like, they both get tired. They say, you know what? I'm not going to kill you. You're still my friend. So they fight away.
Like, Captain America pins down Iron Man, so decides to, like, just...
Spare?
Yeah, spare him, so... And he and Bucky leave.
So he and Bucky leave. Iron Man says, you know what? I don't care anymore.
Well, he returns, like...
Wait. And then we learn that Black Panther was there spying.
Yeah.
So he learns to actually think that Bucky wasn't the one. So that's why he doesn't want to kill Bucky anymore. Now he wants to not kill anymore. He learns that killing is not the answer. After what he saw. Now he wants to just like capture and have the satisfaction that the dude who killed his dad is in prison. So we see outside of the facility, we see the dude.
Yeah.
The main villain. He's sitting down. And he thinks he's gonna escape. He thinks he has a bigger plan. We see T'Challa in the Black Panther suit, sitting with him, saying, he's like, hey, what are you doing? And the dude's like, you came to kill me, aren't you? No, I'm not gonna kill anymore.
Yeah, they just talk. Have
so you say, so you killed it? Like, yeah, I killed him. But why? Why do you want to kill the Avengers? Why do you hate the Avengers so much? This is where the mood just gets heavy. So it turns out the main villain, he was a Sokovian. He lived outside the city in a farm. His wife, his daughter, and his dad were living in the countryside while he was outside in the country for a while. And you see that turns out when the Sokovia incident happened, they're like, who cares, right? It's out of the city.
Yeah, they were like outside, so it was.
No one's gonna die. Right?
Yeah, they're safe. He thought.
They were safe. He thought. They sent him a picture from a car. then from inside the car, a video of his daughter being like, "Wow, the event! Look, the Iron Man's there. Look, Captain America, Thor.
Yeah,
Hulk.
she's
Wow."
amazed.
And like his wife saying like, "Don't worry, it's gonna be okay. The Avengers are here. You're gonna save us."
Yeah.
And when he comes back to the house, he describes the scenery. And for a PG-13 movie, they are really pushing the limit to what they can put in the PG-13. When they say swear words, they show blood, but mild. But what he says is like pushing the limits of the PG rating. He explains that when he went back home, he sees his wife holding his daughter and his dad holding his wife. The three of them are bleeding. You can see them still hugging, but dead.
Yeah,
with blood all over, and like with something, and his dad got penetrated by something. So you see him all penetrated like a shish kebab, yeah, there's like a what do you call him? A corn dog.
A corn dog.
Like a corn on a cob, like just a stick ran through them, and the three of them are bleeding. So that's just like horrible sight. Imagine you're that dude, and you just like walk to your house and see everything destroyed. You see your wife, your little daughter, and your dad are dead. And didn't get the chance to properly say goodbye and I love you and all that stuff, right?
So
and when you think that the villain's gonna escape and try to kill him again, he pulls the guns and tries to kill himself.
Yeah, he tries suicide.
He tries to commit suicide. He grabs the gun, puts it in his mouth, and Black Panther, of course, like stops the bullet.
Yeah,
says,
quickly.
"No, you're not gonna kill yourself. You're gonna go to justice. You're gonna be put into trial. You're gonna be in prison. We're gonna try to get you sane."
Yeah, because he was insane.
He was insane.
Yeah, exactly.
And the movie ends with Bucky freezing himself back again.
Yeah, because he says like if he's not under control, well he might.
Cap has a secret. Oh jeez, no. Cap has another building that was given to him by T'Challa in Africa. Another secret hideout. Half of the Avengers are half of the superheroes are in a military base. The other half are in the Avengers Tower. Rhodes. Oh, in the epic battle where Rhodes, you saw the trailer, right? Where Rhodes fell off and was dead in the trailers, and we're like, oh my god, Rhodes was dead. No, he survived.
He survived, but he's like.
But he's paralytic. He's paralytic. He can't walk anymore. So Iron Man makes him like weird pants.
Yeah, like.
Which you see, you can see how much he cares for his friends, right? Because he actually invests something to make him walk again. Antivirus, shut up. Postpone.
Yeah, kind of like how Steven Rogers cares about Bucky.
You can see the same parallel here with Iron Man and Rhodes. Like he'll do anything for his friend. So you see the ending, like he's trying to show him how to walk. Vision's reading a book. Man, just like the Avengers house normal, right? Black Widow's.
Yeah, just thinking
of what to do now. Well, meanwhile the other ones are in prison, and Spider-Man is back in New York, we suppose.
Yeah.
So the movie has two endings. Two secret ending after credits.
Well, yeah.
The first one is when we see Bucky freezing himself again.
Yeah.
Like are you sure you're gonna sleep? Yes, I'm sure I'm going to sleep. So they sleep him again. And that's how it ends. But and many people are like, okay, that's it. So he left the theaters. I of course did not, and that's why my dad got super pissed on it because he was waiting outside the theater like, hurry up, son. It's 3 a.m. now.
Kind of late.
Like, no, I want to keep watching this, right? It's so, and the second ending is where we see Peter Parker, all bruised up, seeing, like talking with Aunt May through the door, and Aunt May's asking why he's all hurt, right? Because after the fight, like, who punched you in the face? Do I know him? No, Mom, you're not gonna know him. Or did you give him a fight? Yeah, I gave him a pretty good fight. Who was it? What's his name? He's Steve. His name's Steve because Steve Rogers,
of course.
And in the combat, in the fight, Steve and Spider-Man were talking before they fought. They're talking like where he's from, like New York. Oh, same here. Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. Oh, I'm from Queens. Oh, cool, right? So man's like, where's he from? Oh, you don't know him. He's from Brooklyn. Yeah, Steve from Brooklyn. Yeah, Steve from Brooklyn punched me in the face pretty bad. And what about his friend? You say, oh no, his friend was huge. Of course, talking about Giant Man. Like, and you see that in his backpack from his luggage, he doesn't have his normal web shooters.
Yeah,
Well, because Tony Stark gave him better web shooters for the fight, but he has an even better one now. And when he pops it, he like clicks in it, and like there's a hologram projection on the roof, which is like a weird spiral of like a video game inventory menu, with an eye, I think info, like a map signal.
Yeah.
You see all this stuff.
Yeah, which basically alludes to
and like the Spider-Man logo in the center.
Yeah.
And you see it's like, oh my, and the credits end, you see it after, and then you see the word saying Spider-Man will return.
Yeah.
And that's how the movie ends. That's the spoiler part. I loved the whole movie. I loved it. It was great. There were some flaws.
Yeah, of course. No movie's perfect.
Well, The Godfather and Citizen Kane.
Yeah, Inception. So
those two. That's it. But plot could have been better. There could have been more heroes. There could have been at least a more driving narrative, because it was a good plot to drive the conflict. But there should have been maybe a little more, I feel.
Yeah.
The acting was amazing. The effects were amazing. Everything's great. And this is it. I think this is our first review of a film. Hope you guys enjoyed Civil War review. Captain America Civil War will come out in the U.S., North America, and Canada tomorrow, May 6th. With this, hopefully, it could be the first English review grade that you'll see, because the Britons saw it already, but I haven't seen any British review. And see you guys later. I am the Neighborhoodable in the flesh, signing out.
And I am Mr. Knowing Nothing.
In the flesh.
In the flesh.
Signing out. Tess could not make it here on our behalf. So
Tess could not make it.
Sad. We will bring you more gaming stuff later. We also have a game review, not like this, more like with actual footage.
Yeah, this was just like review and opinions.
Review and opinions of a movie that we liked. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.